Welcome to Almost Intuitive, JSS Very Own Podcast, a platform where our students interact, influence, and inspire each other with their ideas, and a place where young individuals communicate, collaborate, and connect within the student community. Brace yourselves to indulge in discussions that will explore the extents of your imagination, all while listening to your very own intuition. Well, almost.
Hello and welcome back to the second episode of the Almost Intuitive podcast. I hope all of you are doing well. Today we will be having a conversation on the topic of mental health.
So, before starting this conversation, we would just like to give a quick disclaimer. We are very excited to have this conversation, but we are also very terrified. Today's topic of discussion will be about mental health and depression, which means that we'll be talking about a subject which you all know is taboo, and society doesn't really like mentioning it. The tragic death of Sushant Singh Rajput has sent shockwaves throughout India, but once again, it has brought the limelight on topics such as mental health, which are not openly discussed in society. Today's podcast is on account of the International Wellbeing Week, which falls from the 22nd of June to the 26th of June. Also, we would like to thank the Team Ables Committee, which has a huge role to play in ensuring the well-being of students at school. I am Nalin, and alongside me I have Abhishek, and our guest today is Mr. Andaleep. Andaleep sir is the inclusion champion and head of the inclusion and pastoral care at the JSS Private School. So hello Andaleep sir, we are honored to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Nalin, for having me. Hi, Abhishek. How are you doing? Before we begin any discussion further, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate both of you and all the team members who are associated with this amazing initiative. It really resonates with me personally. The name, Almost Intuitive.
Thank you so much, sir.
Simply
we really
amazing.
appreciate it.
And
All the love and support has helped us a lot, and also all the feedback, has helped us a lot, and we're always constantly striving to improve. So we'll keep working.
great.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, so before starting, I would just like to ask you that how has the online teaching been going for you?
As you all guys know, it's been an unprecedented time. Amazing things happening. We have to set, adjust, so on and so forth. And online learning is one of the given which has happened for all of us. Yes, for sure, some really amazing things have happened personally for me. And yes, it's a mixed bag, I would say.
Yes, sir. So, sir, coming back to the conversation, so how do you think depression is caused? Because it's a very personal thing, depression. So, there has to be some trigger which eventually leads to depression. So, what do you think basically enables that trigger?
Well, Nalin, to answer you in a short span of time would be a bit difficult for me, but I'll try to do justice to what you are trying to make me answer. See, personally, if I have to tell you the answer to this, the causes could be very many, and depending on different circumstances, context, and most importantly, the individual himself is what the major factors are which lead to depression, actually leading to the unwanted, so-called unwanted things which happen in an individual or a group, or let's say societal level, right? So let me come back to the point of the larger picture of why things happen this way, what leads to depression, the so-called depression, and the results of depression leading an individual to take certain extreme measures in their life, including specific cases of suicide and so on and so forth. So, while coming to this dialogue, when you people invited me, I was just simply thinking about it, and a few thoughts came to my mind. First and foremost thing which I was thinking about is the wrong focus in our society about the priorities which we set ourselves for. And for me, the biggest culprit is the so-called eulogized word ambition. Though yes, yeah. So what I mean to say by this is how we have developed from, let's say, so-called monkeys to being the latest version of the Homo deus, is this idea of ambition, which has really helped us become and to reach to where we are in all the sense you can possibly imagine. But what it has also done is a tremendous amount of baggage of wrong things also happening. Now, ambition would be good as long as I am getting what I wanted to. Ambition becomes problematic only because there are 2, 3, 4 or sometimes God knows how many number of people wanting the same thing. Now what happens then? Competition starts. Comparison starts. And there rolls the all range of issues coming out of all those things. Jealousy and you name it. So that's what I feel. This is where it all brings in. Now we talk about wrong priorities being set up by the school. Sometimes we complain, no, school is not good enough, especially with you teenagers. You must be feeling sometimes the burden of all the kind of wrong things in terms of only academics given the preference, right? Most of the time, isn't it? But have you ever questioned why does it not change fundamentally? It does not change simply because school, or for that matter anyone, is a product of the demand we are placing on to that system. Let's say in the case of school will provide you the things which the society is asking you, and the society is asking ambition, society is asking salary, society is asking job, society is asking position, and you are preparing your kids just for that. So the question needs to be asked and addressed by all of us at individual, group and the societal level, is the whole shift of this ambition.
Right. So, but do you also think that the content we consume can also be a major factor in depression? Because like teenagers these days, we see a lot of online shows and YouTube and all. So do you think the content we basically consume, is it just by that if we consume positive content, we won't fall into depression, or what is it?
Very true. Now you're bringing in the immediate and the specific cause of what can lead to negativity and so on and so forth, right? Which is absolutely true. But again, here comes the point of you being balanced first and foremost. Have you learned those skills of being balanced in your life or not? Have those priorities being set in your life by you first and foremost, by your parents and your smaller and the larger society in which you are coming in contact all the time? So if those things are set in right proportion, what it will give you is the control. Then whether you consume good or bad media or not would not be that important a question. Why? Because you would first and foremost most likely be consuming the right media, and even when in certain situations when you're not taking in the right media, you would have enough means and medium to understand what is right and wrong. And when you do that, the effect of wrong things affecting you would be minimal.
Right. Okay. So when we actually as you said, so when we talk directly about the immediate causes, that's usually what directly comes to our minds when we're trying to, for example, when we're trying to solve a problem such as depression. If if a student, for example, is undergoing depression, then if they approach their parents about it, or if they're trying to solve it on their own for that matter, which is obviously not recommended, but if they're actually doing that, the first thing they will do is they will try and find the immediate cause, right, rather than look for the core balance which you just talked about, right? So how do we get to a position where we can train our students and train our students so that they can thrive in the real world with the principles which you just talked about? How do we imbibe those principles in them?
Lovely, beautiful question, Abhishek. See, again, I would give you an example of riding a car. If you're already on to fifth gear, it's not recommended to come to gear 1 straight away. So you know you are in deep trouble. You can't be jumping out of that trouble straight away. Think of doing things gradually at a slower pace, but at the same time consistently. So to come to the concrete part of what I'm trying to suggest through this is, think of both short term and long term together. There will be certain things which need immediate attention to be addressed. It has to be done, and there has to be a long term planning to address those issues which are troubling you. So first and foremost is the recognition of the issues which are there. Most of the cases get bad simply because we do not actually understand and recognize the real issues. That's the first basic and the most important step. Once you recognize that, then the second most important thing is to understand the solution bit of it, or rather where the solution lies, or in whom the solution lies. So if I were to specifically talk about only depression or something related to mental health issues, the most important thing which we need to have in our life, which is missing, especially because of the kind of lifestyle we all are leading, including you teenagers and the adults, and you just name it. Everybody is caught up into all this because of the kind of lifestyle we are leading. So first and foremost is the lifestyle change is what is completely required. Again, gradually, of course, can't do it suddenly. And then the core elements of understanding and then living those elements into your life right way, in the balanced way, is what is most important. One of the things which I would highly recommend, which has been confirmed by long-term happiness researches, is your core people must be there in your life all the time. Those 2 and 3 friends, your parents, and whomever you can think of. So that forms the core which ensures that in whatever situation, whatever comes, whether you are failing or succeeding, they are there with you. If that sense is there all the time throughout your life, even when you are going through the toughest of your times, you would have that support net with you all the time. And that is the most crucial bit to understand. So what I'm trying to say through this is, we need to figure it out. What are those elements? What are those people? What are those things which ensure that I remain healthy in most of the situation? And this is the real bit. And when things go wrong, what do I do?
So there needs to be that sort of net, as you said, so that people can bounce back if they fall.
Yes. And that net involves both resources, skills, and people.
So, but I would just like to ask you that, what if we don't have anyone who we can fall onto? Like, because many people, they usually get depressed because, I mean, that's one of the main factor, that they don't have anyone to talk to, basically. So
Yes,
if we
true,
don't
very true.
if we don't have anyone to talk to, or if we don't associate ourselves with anyone who will take care of us or who is positive in a way, then what are we supposed to do?
Okay, lovely.
So I think a more concentrated, sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
a more
please go ahead.
concentrated version of Nalin's question would be, what if those people who are supposed to be those key people which you talked about, those core people, what if the people in that position aren't people you would want to reach out to?
Right.
I got
So
your point.
what do we do in that situation?
Yes, lovely. Another interesting question. Now, here lies the bit where the professionals come into the picture. Now, it is the society's responsibility to ensure that each and every individual remains healthy as best to the ability as possibly we can think of. So, let's say in a smaller segment of a school. Now, there are counselors, right? There are teachers, there are leaders. All of these, any one of these can become your key people, whomever you think you can trust in. So it's just the fact that you need to have that belief in you that you can reach out and you would be heard. Rather, I should use the term, you would be listened.
Right. Nalin, yeah. Okay, so I'll ask you the next question. So next major sort of topic we're trying to understand. So there's this sort of understanding or saying amongst the older generation, who the millennials millennials may call the boomers, the boomers. So this
I don't
sort
understand
of
the idea
older
of
generation.
millennials and boomers. If you could explain me, if I have to answer that.
No,
Millennials
sir.
are you
So yeah,
people
that's
and
just
boomers are us, right?
no, sir, not exactly you, but it's
Roughly.
sort of this. Yeah, no, sir, not exactly. It's actually sort of an insult, and it's like a millennial lingo.
Okay.
So it's so you needn't be concerned with that. So, but we're just trying to make the listeners understand that we're kind of referring to, when we say older generation, it's not all the older people. It's those people who would fall under that boomer category. So over there, yes, sir. So
what's the
talking
age
about the
bracket you are
question, so
referring to as boomers?
So it's not a specific age bracket. It's sort of people who are ignorant, people who are old and who don't listen to. Yeah, so that's why I said it's sort of like an
who are
insult,
not
but
coming
it's just
in terms with you in terms of lingo and technology and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But they're also, ignorant and arrogant in some way. So that's usually when they use this phrase. But yeah, but so these people, they sometimes they say that if someone falls into depression, it's their choice that they have fallen into depression, and they can easily come out of it if they think about it. But yes, we know that's true, right? Because you control your mind at the end of the day, absolutely. But they make it seem as if we go into depression as a choice. So that is where I would like some clarity from your side.
Lovely.
If you could,
Yeah. As a generation, they just pose it onto you.
Absolutely.
So what I would say, this is not quite justified, first and foremost. Why it is not justified? Because depression, first and foremost, is a very complex phenomenon. It cannot be generalized, and most importantly, it cannot be simplified. We do need to understand this, and we need to really appreciate the fact that in spite of whatever we have in terms of our progression and development in our society, we have created this phenomena for ourselves very much, collectively as a society, first and foremost. Now, the result of this has come back to you guys more so, all because of what we have done as a generation. So if at all they are blaming you guys, I would say they need to reflect back again in terms of the priorities. We have gone way too far ahead in terms of the ambition. I'll again be repeating myself, but I cannot help saying this because this is where it has started off and this is what it has resulted in. Now you people have come to a stage wherein everything is a given. technology, advancement, AI, whatever you name it, everything is set and ready. You guys, in one sense, again, I'm not trying to be negative about you guys. What I'm trying to say is, because of all these resources being readily available, what it has led you to is the ease of access for doing things. So to say, the struggle of living hasn't been a part of the makeup of your mental psyche as a generation. You guys have a completely different kind of mental struggle, which we generation don't understand and empathize with. You have a completely different set of mental issues to deal with. And that is why when you guys say that we are in depression and so on and so forth, it's quite alien for us to decipher. Why? Simply because we are trying to understand all that in terms of what we know of being negative, what could lead to negativity. But that's not how it gets translated into you guys' cases. So first and foremost, it's the need of, again, the adults who are there in your life to understand that you have a different culture altogether. And all that culture is what needs to be, again, I should not be using the word reshape, but rather reformed in a very positive way.
So are you trying to say that depression is kind of a modern phenomena? Because many millennials, so I want to know, when you were a teen, was there no depression in your society, or what was it like? Because many people say that it's mostly this generation which faces problems like these. So what would you say about this?
Again, just to further your question, what I said earlier, Nalin, see, the things have been happening over a period of time. It's just that the progression here now has gone on to a rapid pace. That's the only difference. So you see the focus and concentration of depression cases happening more often than not in the past. So it's not something which is a new phenomena first and foremost, but yes, in terms of the numbers, yes. And again, simply the reason are different.
So when we were searching for so as we know, sir, a lot of millennials, or a lot of us teens, or even adults for that matter at this point, a lot of them Google everything, right? As you said, the ready availability of resources. So naturally, if we actually Google the cures for depression, you will find this tweet by the Indian Ministry of Health. Nalin, you can.
Yeah, so the tweet said that if you are into depression, you should do activities like yoga and meditation, and going for daily walks and dancing and activities like that. So I was just thinking about this, that we, in the modern generation, many of us don't do yoga or meditation. I recommend it, but we just don't do it. So what would you say are we should do in order to get relieved, or get out of that dark phase in our life?
Okay. Yes, now you are asking some real questions. What should we do of all this? Okay. Now again, I cannot give you all the solutions first and foremost. I can give you whatever I think and I believe in. So as I said earlier, depression is not to be generalized and simplified. Same way, you can't have a general solution for it. Different cases require different sort of solutions. So you can't generally prescribe yoga and meditation to everybody. That's number one. Having said that, personally for me, meditation has been a transformative experience for my life. So if I were to suggest anyone to do and learn just one thing, I would always recommend meditation. But having said that, that doesn't work with everybody. Why? Simply everyone's psyche and mental makeup and so on and so forth is different. So what I would recommend is, first understand your issues, understand yourself thoroughly. And when you are in the process of understanding yourself, you would definitely get a clue to what energizes you, what gives you meaning, and most importantly, what gives oxygen to your soul. Now, once you understand this, you would not need suggestion from people telling you what to do and what not to do. You would have enough skills, resources, and person to approach and do things which make you first and foremost healthy. And if at all you are getting into any kind of negative mode, and for that matter in depression, you would know what to do. Because at the end of the day, I feel it's you yourself who is the best expert for yourself. You may always take suggestions and ideas from whichever way and resources you can think make sense to you, but at the end you must, I must repeat this as importantly as I possibly can, no one is an expert, including me here, by the way. Whatever I'm saying should be taken with caution. And the caution bit is, again, maybe this might be of some help. Caution bit is your experience. Does it make sense to my living? Does it make sense to my experience? Would it really gel with my lifestyle? Would it really come handy in what I think is my priority for my life?
Okay, sir. So naturally, from this, sort of question, since we brought up the Indian Ministry of Health, in India, it is not we're not trying to defame the country in any way. It is our country, and we're proud of it. But it is a known fact that topics such as mental health have been ignored, right? And they have been sort of put on this back burner where people are expected to live with it in some sense. So what can we do about changing that sort of mentality? How do we mass change this mindset which people may or may not have?
Again, the tough one. Well, as I started off right away in the beginning, I'll come back to the same point again. This all has to do with the whole society makeup. So it's not a phenomena which is India specific, first and foremost. Understand? We are thinking of it in terms of India because of the current incidents which has happened, but this is something which is across the world. That's the first thing we need to understand. What I would suggest, if any mass change were to happen, it can begin honestly at the individual level only. The transformation has to happen in the mindset of the people, and it has to happen at different levels: individual, group, and societal. And what transformation am I suggesting here? Again, change ambition to excellence, because ambition is about achievement, whereas excellence is about performance. When you go beyond this need of success and failure, then you are no more thinking about problems in your life. Why? Because most of the time you're not going to create problems in your life.
Right. So when you said the transformation should begin at the internal sort of level, do you think then there is a trigger to it? And if so, should that trigger preferably be internal or should it be external?
Again, I cannot suggest it because again, whatever I would say, it would be a personal viewpoint, but still let me try to answer. It depends on the circumstances and the individual and the situation. So it can sometimes happen from inside, and it may happen from sometimes outside as well. So it's not about the trigger where it can happen, where it should happen. It's all about the importance and urgency of understanding that this must happen. So wherever and in whichever measure we can all do this in bits and pieces, continue doing this. So if I as an individual have become, let's say, a notch up in terms of my awareness, so that much of awareness would be spread across in my culture, in my group, in my surrounding, and hopefully that would trickle down as an effect, right? So that's how it can happen. And I must say, it's not something which we are in wanting, by the way. This is a movement which you can now actually see it happening across the world. There are so many positive things happening. Now, just to cite, recently we have had Mr. Aman Merchant, right? If you remember, in our Avenues session. Now, if you look at his profile, he is an entrepreneur, a businessman par excellence. But recently, he has shifted and turned around his business philosophy, and he has ventured into a business called Epic 360, which is completely on mental health awareness. So people like these are coming up with amazing ideas and things are floating. So movement is happening in some or the other shape. And one of my close friend, Mr. Om Prakash, he has started a channel called Om Seeks. Again, now this is sort of a quest wherein we are trying to understand each other and what's best to lead a better life and so on and so forth. So things are happening at very many levels and in various ways, I would say.
So thank you so much, Andreep sir, for
Thank you, sir.
for taking out your time. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you. And also for all the listeners, if you have made it this far into the podcast, we thank you so much for listening to this conversation. And we really hope that at some level you have gained some insight from this conversation we had today, and you have gained some actionable values which you can start implementing in your life, right? To make sure that you're functioning at your optimum level and that you're living with joy and fulfillment. If you want to share any ideas with us, please do reach out. Until then, take care, and we'll catch you all next time.
Thank you so much, Abhishek and Nalin, for having me here, and I'm glad that you found certain useful things today in our discussion. But most importantly for me, it's to all those students who are probably listening to this. Let me just say, if you have further queries related to this and any other thing which you feel that you need to discuss or clarify, or most importantly, if you feel you need to reach out for any sort of concerns, please do feel free to come and reach us. We all are available all the time. Thank you so much.